What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning back into another episode of Freedom Talks on Friday. My name is Sam, and this episode, we're going to be talking about death. Now, who really wants to talk about dying, right? It's a natural part of life. Everybody dies, but who really wants to talk about it, right? Well, I found this article very interesting to me, and I want to share it with you guys. It's titled, "End of Life Specialists Are Surging in Numbers, Helping American Families to Better Process Death and Dying." Okay, just a side note, this website is called goodnewsnetwork.org, and I'm going to link it in the description. And this website is nothing but good, positive articles. Like, step away from the news and the drama and the shootings and, who's dying and the politics and whatever. Go to this website and it's nothing but good news. Okay. So this article is going to be good. So end of life specialists are surging in numbers. What's an end of life specialist? There are special caregivers in society who feel their place in this world is at the side of a bed of a dying person, helping to comfort and calm them and their families during a difficult time. That takes a special person to do. Let me tell you why. Because when people die, people can get hysterical, for one, and it's hard. If you're not like a natural caregiver, to sit there and console somebody who's about to lose their partner of 60 years or, a child. Come on now. You got to be a special person to sit and console and be caring with that person who's about to lose somebody. That can be hard. Okay. Alongside the rise in green funerals, I don't know what green funerals are, but there is a link to that. These, in quotes, death doulas are there to help in challenging end-of-life moments, because making plans and doing research is often the last thing people can think to do at such a moment. And having someone to simply be present with a calming perspective or to offer insight and information can be a big relief. Okay, so this is kind of like a wedding planner. You've got your special day and you're going to get married. You got a lot to do. And you need somebody there to help you plan, like the venue, the catering, the guests, the flowers, and all that overpriced stuff that comes with a wedding. This is like a death planner. Oh, I don't know. That doesn't sound good. But they're there to help in challenging end-of-life moments. Okay, so they can make plans, do research, help you find a casket, maybe where to bury the body if you want to get it cremated. Okay. Being a doula, someone says, being a doula and a giver is a reflective of what we do. We are non-medical holistic practitioners. Okay, well, yeah, I get it. They're not doing medical stuff. They're just kind of helping out the person who has other things on their mind, like, oh my God, I'm about to lose somebody. And guys, I'm not being insensitive here. I know what it's like to lose people. Trust me. And it sucks. It can be really, really hard. But looking at it from this perspective and seeing that there's people out there to help people who are grieving, or especially if they don't have anybody else. Families out of town, it's just them alone in a city and they need help. This might be a great idea. Having trained over 100,000 people as doula givers, she explains how the work calls people forward. Oh, I bet. I can see it. They, doula givers, have a comfort level with those at the end of life. It's a relatively new movement, but it's really picked up steam in the last few years. Here's an example of someone who was a restaurant manager who turned death doula. Okay, newly qualified death doula Lindsay was working as a manager in a not-for-profit restaurant, training with traditionally high barriers to employment to get jobs in the hospitality industry. The restaurant industry is basically everything proof, or at least we thought it was. Okay, her restaurant was impacted by the pandemic. One morning after all the shutdowns, I said, I'm going to look death doula work up. I'm going to see what's going on. I said, this is it. This is what I need to be doing. She told, I've always felt a calling to death work. I've always felt called to the transitions of life. Okay, so yeah, I guess you maybe need to have a calling to do this. Tools of the trade. Okay, how does a doula giver go about their work? It depends on the individual doula and the client before that relationship begins. The most important aspect is being present, adding that while modern life tends to have us living in the past and the future, on our phones and in the digital space generally, there's nothing more present than watching someone fade away over the space of several hours. Wait, isn't this like, what are those people that sit with you? Hospice. Well, I guess those are more like medically trained people. There are groups like the Threshold Choir where people go in and sing beside to dying people. I could technically bring that in if someone wants me to sing to them. That's something I could do. Okay. I guess if they have special requests, then this doula giver could definitely accommodate to those special requests of dying. Probably be easier for them to go out and do it than a family member, because the family member is like seriously grieving and they just want to be beside their loved one, so they let the doula giver go out and get those last things that the dying person wants in their life. It's a special kind of person that is comfortable voluntarily spending hours with a person in their last few moments of life and then singing to them. Okay, is dying a medical experience? It's not. It's a human one, and it's only in the last 100 years that we've become so far removed from having death being a natural part of life cycle. Okay, that's true. I feel like that's true. Death is part of life. Like, just like everybody is born, everybody dies. I feel like we should be more like accepting, embracing, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I feel like sometimes we're so focused on, let's live to 1,000 years. Let's wear this. Let's do everything to our bodies to look younger, and let's eat the best food, which I believe you should eat the best food. But it's like we all push to live as long as we can. In a sense, I agree, but in another sense, I feel like society should be more accepting and more open and more talking about death, because it's such a huge part of life. We've trained in Thailand, Zimbabwe. We had people on from Japan, Singapore, and Australia. People stay up until the middle of the night to have this webinar. Okay, so there's a webinar for this training if you want to be a doula giver. Okay, dying is so expensive, but we've literally removed what is most effective from end-of-life care. Your body knows what to do, and we forget that at the end of life does not have to be an embalming, a 20,000 ringamarang. I don't know what that means, but it's at the bottom of the article, so I just read it. Yes, I've experienced a lot of people dying and death in the families, but I don't know how expensive it is. Well, actually, I take that back. Not too long ago, I was helping out for a funeral arrangements, and I was looking at like how much the casket costs and how much the embalming and how much to put in the ground and in a stone, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of money. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of a doula giver? If you're at your end of your life and you have all your family around, you just want your family and friends hanging out with you during your last moments, and then you can have a doula giver like take care of things for your family so you can have more time with your family, like whatever, take care of a party afterwards if you want to have a celebration of your life. I don't know. This is interesting. This is the first time I've heard of a doula giver. I'm going to link this article in the description below. I'm also going to put this goodnewsnetwork.org up in case anybody wants to go to this website and look at the articles. They are nothing but good, positive news. So if you're having a bad day or something, or you're tired of watching Fox News or whatever you watch, then go to this website. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Freedom Talks on Friday. I hope you're having a wonderful week. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Take care.